And tonight's host is our president for North America and Europe, Meredith Burkich. So Meredith, welcome and take it away.
Thank you so much, Alberto. And thank you, IMMUNOCAL family, for joining us. We know you've got a lot going on in your life, and for you to set this time aside is very precious to us, and we want to respect that by adding value. So welcome, whether you're listening live or on replay. We are so happy to have you because this is an exceptional week out of the month. Every week we have various topics, but this one, when we're talking about the amazing breakthrough products here at IMMUNOTECH, is especially important for you. And so we have joined us our very own Senior Advisor of Science and Clinical Research, Dr. Jimmy Gutman. Dr. Gutman, are you on the line with us today?
I wouldn't miss it.
Excellent. Well, we're glad, and we wouldn't miss it when you wouldn't miss it. So thank you for joining. Dr. Gutman is very special. You know, not only is he an amazing human being, somebody who has deep compassion and care for the human condition, but he's also brilliant, and he has really spent his life, being educated in the areas of medicine, emergency medicine. He has been in practice. He has served his residency. He's been in the emergency room taking care of, critical life and death situations. And now, he focuses primarily on family medicine. But what is the most amazing thing was when he came across the glutathione story, when he came across IMMUNOCAL, introduced, just like each of you on this call every day do, sharing these products. And this person told him, and he became immersed in learning how he could be a part of the solution. He could be a part of the basic root cause, solving that puzzle rather than just treating symptoms. And since that time, since that day, since that introduction, he has become one of the world's leading authors, if not the world's authority, on the subject of glutathione. And he has actually sold more books on the topic than all of the other authors on this topic combined. And that is why he is frequently asked to appear on radio and television and websites, sharing, lecturing. So, to have him here, partnering with us, walking alongside in the area of product development and the area of evolving our product line, it is truly our honor to have you join us here, Dr. Gutman. Thank you so very much.
My absolute pleasure, Meredith, and this is great fun. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem. So this is a little switch for our weekly time together every month, because it looks like we're going to be talking about skin. Wow, what a nice subject to talk about. A lot of people who follow IMMUNOTECH closely might wonder why a science-based company, whose sole focus has been on the immune system and then how everything interacts with the immune system, strengthens the immune system, undergirds the immune system, would go forward with a skin product. I know you have some strong opinions here, Dr. G.
Oh, absolutely, I do. Certainly, your skin is what people will immediately see and either consciously or unconsciously form an opinion on aesthetics or how good you look. But the skin is really a window on how healthy you are as well. And for health professionals, health obviously trumps looks every time.
With good reason. And not to mention, looking healthy is also part of what attracts us to each other.
Absolutely.
So, Dr. G, are you ready to give us a quick look at the importance of skin in our health?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, you're on.
Some people, but not all people, are aware that the skin is actually the largest organ in the body. It's actually an extremely complex structure, and because of this, there are literally thousands of things that can go wrong with your skin. I think there's a list over 3,000 skin conditions documented. Unfortunately, most people will only start taking care of their problems, like their skin, after a problem arises. And this is reactionary. We also need to focus more strongly on preventative health measures. Now, there's so many roles that our skin plays. Besides holding everything in, it acts as a barrier against environmental challenges. It contains receptors for touch and pain and heat and cold and movement. And it's a major source of signals that directs our brain what to do. It directs our behavior. And it's also critical to regulate our temperature by altering blood flow or by sweating. It's involved in the synthesis and storage of metabolically active substances like vitamins and other agents. And that's just a short list of skin functions. But what's fascinating to me is that so many of these functions relate back to our immune system. And you'll hear time and again that immunologists consider our skin to be the frontline defense of the immune system. And when you look at the skin under a microscope, you're going to discover that it's absolutely teeming with immune cells. And here on this slide, you see just a few things that are going to challenge or compromise your skin's health. Stress and fatigue, bad habits like smoking and pollution and poor diet and more. And all of this accelerates skin aging and skin integrity. So the importance of taking care of your largest organ in your body is critical. Now, certainly, one of the payoffs is going to be making yourself look better, and this is a huge industry. But from Immunotech perspective, we're quite happy to look better. But what really counts is about skin health. Now, let me stress a very crucial point. The most important thing that you can do for your health and for your skin is to eat well. You need to eat well. We say this again and again. What you eat has the most profound influence on your health. And because it's getting harder and harder to eat well and to get good food and to find the time to do all this, we depend increasingly on supplements. And you all know what I consider to be hands down the most important supplement that you can use. Yeah, IMMUNOCAL. So just to let you know, I've recently completed my latest book on glutathione, and there's a massive chapter in it on skin health. And this is really the first step, taking care of your skin and your immune system from the inside out. So you have to remember IMMUNOCAL. And step number 2 is taking care of your skin from the outside in. And this is what we're going to focus on now. Here's a really cool picture of our first packaging of IMMUNOCAL. Yeah, it came in a jar. The problem was that by the time you got to the bottom of the jar at the end of the month, the product had undergone too much oxidation. It started breaking down. And that's why we developed those high-tech envelopes that you see now. But even then, people were taking the IMMUNOCAL powder and mixing it into a paste and putting it right on their skin. Dr. Bunos and I were kind of puzzled by why this might work. We never did any studies or seen any studies along these lines, but people in the field, they swore about the results, and they were sending in before and after pictures and after using it on all kinds of issues, from wound healing to burns to surgical scars and rashes and sunburn and so many other things. However, being pure scientists, we actually discouraged this because we could only guess at how it was working. We had no laboratory evidence. But the ownership of Immunotech at the time, and they felt and obviously had something very special going on. So based on the piles of anecdotes and testimonials coming in, they proceeded to make an IMMUNOCAL skin cream. Now, the first few attempts, we had to play with this. It was far from optimal. It would oxidize, it would get lumpy and discolored, but eventually the cream got better and better. But most of you know me by now, and you know the 3 things that I hold most important. I'll reiterate. Number 1, research. Number 2, research. Number 3, research. And now with our new CEO, who's going to hold true to the statement, the science of living better, we were compelled to do a study. And with some more tweaking, there you go. There you have it, IMMUNOCAL DERMA. Now let's look at our investigation. This study was carried out at one of the best skin testing labs in the country, Canada, Evaluab. This is a Quebec-based research firm. They enrolled both men and women to do a 6-week study using the DERMA daily at the same dose that you're all going to be using. And what were the results? Well, 90% of the users described more hydrated skin. Now, why is that important? Hydration is one of the most critical parameters of skin health. This is regularly measured. 85% noticed smoother and softer skin. Sure, this is important for looks, but smoother and softer skin also acts as a barrier to threats that get their foothold in rough skin. 75% firmer and elastic skin. I mean, firmer and elastic, what does that mean? It makes it tougher for microbes and toxins to penetrate, and it's more protective from skin injury. And in red here, you can see the final conclusions made by the company that did the research. Overall improvement in fine lines, wrinkles, and skin radiance, reduced anti-aging effects, and improved overall skin condition. Now, needless to say, we were really, really happy to see this. And I'm all sure that you're going to be pleased that the DERMA was tested for allergic potential and skin irritation. Now, there's actually strict guidelines to be able to make these statements, and we're authorized to say that IMMUNOCAL DERMA is hypoallergenic and non-irritant. And we gained all these claims without doing any animal testing, which is also pretty cool. And when you see this stamp, the claim, dermatologist tested, this is not something you could just stick on any product. This is also subject to government regulations, which we got as well. It's certainly a must for validation and for credibility. So here's the million-dollar question that all of you are either going to ask or going to be asked. What about glutathione? Yeah, DERMA contains IMMUNOCAL, but it does not contain glutathione. You need to understand the difference. IMMUNOCAL is not glutathione. IMMUNOCAL is a glutathione precursor. Did we actually test whether the DERMA raised glutathione in the skin? We did not, because to do this, a much more extensive study would have to be done, which includes passing through boards of ethics and doing uncomfortable skin biopsies, try to find somebody that wants to go through that, setting up glutathione testing equipment, and much more. Right now, we feel that our research funding is more efficiently spent looking at other important projects going on right now, like brain research, like cancer research. And so what we really wanted to do was have proof that the product had noticeable and visual confirmation that these improvements were well documented. I'd like to point out a couple other important features here. The IMMUNOCAL DERMA is provided in what's called an airless pump. This does 3 things. Because you don't have to reopen the container every day and dip your fingers into it, it doesn't get contaminated. And because it doesn't get contaminated, you can also share it with somebody else. Because it limits the exposure to the environment, it dramatically decreases the amount of oxidation or breakdown that it can undergo. And finally, this pump is really precise. So you should get exactly the same amount each time when the pump is properly activated. And with accuracy, we can deliver the recommended dose every time, which is 2 pumps per dose, once a day, and that's roughly equivalent to about a month's supply. Now, keep in mind, there are going to be some people out there they're going to want to use more depending on their situation or their skin condition. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The DERMA product can be integrated into pretty much any other skin routines you're using now. This is very important. It's compatible. And a lot of people ask, does DERMA replace the other skin creams that I'm using, for example, the Elisance or the Holistics or whatever? No, Derma is not designed as a beauty cream per se. Yeah, you're going to look better, but it's not a beauty cream. It is a skin treatment product, a skin treatment product. Keep that in mind. We've intentionally left out any sun blockers from the Derma. Not everybody wants a sun blocker, and it's probably contained in several of the other products you're using. And not everybody is okay with certain SPF factors. Not all of them are well tolerated by everyone. So if you want or need sun protection, we suggest a safe, underline safe, sunscreen protecting product. So the main question is going to be, well, what exactly is this cream for? Well, the answer is Derma. Although there's definite beauty benefits, this cream is for treating skin, is for skin health. Now listen, although we've had 20 years of feedback from the field describing the positive effects of IMMUNOCAL on the skin, on all kinds of skin conditions, the regulations in the United States, Canada, and Mexico do not allow for any medical claims on a cream unless it's registered as a drug. Okay, so in the same way, we need to dance around the IMMUNOCAL. We can't say that it cures anything. We need to stick to what's allowed to say. And the restrictions on skin products, believe it or not, are almost as stringent as the restrictions on oral supplements. So read the list. These are important benefits regardless. Maintaining skin health and integrity, protection from environmental hazards, provides more hydrated skin, leads to smoother and softer skin. And who, after all, is our market? Well, when it comes to skin health, obviously everyone, all ages, all skin types, both sexes. We can even go as far as saying problematic skin. And very importantly, it can be added, as we said before, to any other skin regimen. And one thing for sure, you can be positive that no one has a cream with IMMUNOCAL in it. And this is really, really a truly unique selling point. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Meredith.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gutman. So we all have access to beauty and health from the inside, being IMMUNOCAL, and now with IMMUNOCAL Derma from the outside.
Well stated.
Okay, and I've actually had a little bit of a benefit with this product because you were kind enough to share with some of the members of the internal team this amazing product. And so actually I've been using my husband as a test subject, and I think this is important for our testimonies, but my husband's been using it. He used the entire 1 month supply, and he looks great. Skin is much more radiant, much smoother, and it wasn't an easy thing to do, because sometimes I know you men listening to this right now thinking, skincare, wah wah. But the reality is that that's really all you've got. While some of you men may put on makeup and have some guy liner in your fanny pack, but the reality is that there's nothing wrong with that, and of course you can. But for most men that I know, their skin is all they've got. And so since that, again, that beauty is what radiates and attracts us to each other, I encourage you to share this with all of the men in your life. And then if you're a man listening, of course, use this, maximize your skin, not again as a beauty cream, but to have something for yourself that is going to nourish and help you look your best and feel your best too, because when we glow, it actually puts a little spring in our step and helps us even feel better. So just make sure, for those of you, as you start using this cream, we know what's going to happen. You're going to have your testimonials. You're going to have lots of before and after pictures, of course, that you want to share. So, I think that Dr. Gutman, you mentioned something that's super important, which really is, following the rules about how we talk about things, because we know our products work, but we have to protect the sustainable and long-term future, here at IMMUNOTEK. We're not just here for tomorrow. So while we may see some companies, fly fast and free with claims that they make, the reality is that we want to do things the right way, because we have a legacy to protect here at this amazing and great company. So thank you, Dr. Gutman, again for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out, to spend with us. We, of course, as we do with the introduction of a new product, will have some specials available coming out, because we want you to be able to take advantage of this and not only, try it yourself, but we want you to be able to have an opportunity to share it with a friend, give it away as a birthday. I mean, what better to give the gift of health, to your skin, that big immune system, creation that we've been blessed with. So buy 3, get 1 free is the special this month. If you're listening to this on replay, still a great deal anywhere you look at it. And we want to encourage all of you to tune in, listen to these webinars, go back when you have new people join the team and they ask you for product training, direct them to the back office, direct them to their business center and say, here, click on your resources, have a look, go to this area, and they're going to find all of these have been archived for their convenience to learn more about what we have to offer, what sets us apart, our unique selling proposition, our differentiating factors here at Immunotech, the science of living better. Please join us for all of our weeks and next week as we get ready to maximize all of the programs that we have to help you build a successful and inspired business. Thank you for joining us, Immunotech family.